right, you ready for my speech? All right, you ready for my speech?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this speech.
That's good.
I'm interested in the topic.
Yes, it's a current event.
Yeah.
You ready for my speech?
I am.
And then finally, we have the fifth one. Ready? All right, sounds good. Here you go. Hand this to you. All right, my name is Joe McDaniel, and I am speaking to you today about the World Cup 2014 in Rio de Janeiro. And I will inform you about the preparation for the World Cup in Rio de Janeiro. Next to the Olympics, the World Cup is one of the most popular sporting events in the entire world. Behind the scenes of the glamour and glory of this event lies a negative effect on the inhabitants of Brazil and the country itself. This issue interests me not only because I was a soccer player and I really enjoy the sport, watching it on TV and such, but also because it contains many more issues than the sport alone. Problems surrounding the groundwork and preparation of the World Cup include those related to threats and violence, mishaps in construction, and then citizen protests. All right, the first point that I discovered was within the city's society there has been a threat of violence that will continue into the World Cup 2014. And this was this information I found in a article entitled "World Cup 2014 Draw: Brazil allays fear of violence." And I discovered that some areas of Brazil and then Rio de Janeiro itself are safer than others. Because safety is not as organized as countries such as the United States and then European countries. However, airports and bus stations are the safest place during the World Cup. And these areas are much safer than areas in the US or Europe. And then I also found that violence there's expected violence with social origins, common crime, and robberies. They always try to contain this. But this is not any different than any other country. And unfortunately, this may harm the image of Brazil, or the country of Brazil, because the fans and tourists coming in judge it by this. The next bit of information I found was while there are still ongoing improvements with the production of stadiums and other structures, there have been unexpected mishaps. And I found an article entitled "Stadium Crash Casts Shadow Over Brazil's FIFA World Cup 2014 Preparations." Earlier this year there was a crane collapse during the construction of Brazil's World Cup stadium. Unfortunately, 2 workers were killed, and this set the preparation at a 30-day delay. This and many other delays have set construction off track. Experts believe that Brazil is unlikely to be ready for the World Cup because there have been renovations on all 12 stadiums. They've all been very slow. Even though there's slow construction going on, the travel logistics is a big concern for tourists and fans coming in. Airports, mass transit systems, hotels, and railroads may not be able to handle the mass amount of visitors because every year the World Cup has increasing numbers of fans. Finally, I found that the citizens of Brazil have protested against the entire World Cup. I found this in an article called "Protest Delays Hinder Brazil's World Cup Preparations." Unfortunately, the social issues of Brazil have come to the forefront. And the main amount of protesters have been from a local teacher strike. And these teachers believe that the World Cup will negatively affect education in the area of Brazil during this time. But other people at the same time believe that Brazilians will eventually benefit from this event. Officials expect to prevent any safety concerns regarding protests during the event. Earlier this year they ran a test tournament in stadiums, and this showed that they have the ability to control safety in forms of protest and other forms. And then stadiums would be shut down 3 weeks before the event to flush out protesters for several safety concerns. Overall, behind the scenes of all the glitz and glamour of the World Cup, there's a lot of negative things going on in Brazil, which is very unfortunate. This interests me because with any major worldwide event, I believe that there's negative effects that are out of the control of the officials. And even though there are major mishaps, the fans and participants need to focus on the event itself and just the sport of soccer and the love of the game, and the players itself. And that's my speech. Thank you very much. Thank you.